So let's hit it. We don't have much time. I missed out quite a bit already on practice here, and I don't have any practice with this car. I've never driven it even before today. So this is gonna be fun learning this Ferrari as we go. We have 15 minutes of qualifying coming up. So that's gonna be likely my time when I... What was that? That's not good sound. I think that, actually, I think that's my email. And I think that is, specifically, yeah, that my stream is live now. Thank you. Thank you, Thunderbird. I appreciate your efforts. Compared to Windows, it doesn't automatically mute stuff, so it's like... So, calibration. Okay. Right. Good. Fine. Close this. We need to pull up my overlay. Did I pop the chat out already? Hopefully. No, I didn't. I'm stupid. I am stupid. Oh, I can fix that easily enough. So, right, menu, settings for, no, that's the wrong one. Settings for this one, switch window, let it cook for a moment. This here, live chat pop out, and that's it. Correct. Called it in 4K. And now we can switch the controls off and get rolling. And I need to also copy the password, but we're gonna be fine. Let's put this over there. So multiplayer, server lists. Black. Okay, that's not quite enough. Except it actually is. We found the server immediately. There are 20 servers, but it's on the top, so that's actually useful. Sorting for once. Well, we have still 4 minutes of practice, so that's actually quite nice. Time to beat is a 51.6. Oh, let's get to it, I would say. Aerodynamics? No. I don't know how much I'm gonna regret that decision. Going to no on the aerodynamics front. Well, it's not that warm, I feel like. Let's go brake ducts a bit down. Traction control, we could switch traction control to probably off. It's usually the strategy with most of these cars. I don't know if we can use brake pads. Oh, you can't adjust the brake bias. That's very interesting with this car. In general, you can't really adjust much. You can take the spring rate down one click. You can put a rear anti-roll bar in. You can remove the front. Or keep it in. Brake power can be adjusted steering ratio. We can have bump and rebound dampers, but like no fast damper adjustment, which is fine. That's also relatively normal. Gonna reduce the toe a bit. And then we'll probably go down on the pressures a bit, because we've closed up the brake ducts. So we need to do some mild adjustments there, because it otherwise flies off the handle. Right, that's sound and reasonable, I think. So let's drive. Gauge the pit limiter. Put the keyboard away. And put the gloves on. Let my pad in. Fuck, that's again the wrong one. How often do I do this where I put my... Oh great, I've just noticed my dashboard is covering up the rear view camera. That's fun. I need to reposition that. 7th gear already. just... Yeah, that's good enough.
Slow car ahead. Yellow flag, be careful there.
Maybe we actually reach 300 on the straights. Okay, it gets a bit unstable. It's still within reasonability. Tire pressures are a bit low. Quite a bit low, surprisingly enough. Considering how... I don't know for what temperature this car is set up by default. Or do we actually have tire warmers on this? Okay, so let's see how fast do we get in the front stretch here. 240, 250, 60, 70, 80. Nah, I think we hit the brakes before.
Car on the left.
Oh, sorry.
Clear on the left.
I completely coaxed that up. Yeah, that is my bad. I thought I could brake a bit later. Should pay better attention. But yeah, no 300, that's a bit sad.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Also, my cable has decided that it doesn't want to flow correctly.
Slow car ahead.
It's gonna be...
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
Check the flag is up before we actually get to the line. Come on, cable, please. Why are you so stubborn today? Although the tires are starting to finally get up to pressure now. They're still a bit on the low side.
Session is now over.
What was that time? 4:54. But I mean, we had to skip turn 1. I mean, 150 was about right actually in terms of braking for turn 1. It does hit you still with quite a bit of TC. Can you actually drive this car without traction control? So that's gonna be an interesting experiment. TC1 off now. Ah, we couldn't find that. We were teleported out of the session for that. Right, okay. I mean, we're gonna need to reduce the fuel load anyway because of qualifying. All temperatures are roughly the same, but we notice a bit low tire pressures, so I don't know. Maybe slightly bump them up. A smidge. He's slightly adjusted.
Stay clear of the curbs.
I mean, 20 liters should be enough for quite a bit in this session. Although, due to this car being relatively high power, we might burn through fuel a bit faster than we expect. Might have to use actually ABS too because the thing otherwise knocks up. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I feel like we might actually have to use more ABS. Switch it back up to 2. considering we can't, you know, control the brake bars. Might as well let the ABS work at it. A different approach to the... I should perhaps try that with the McLaren. With the 570S, just run more ABS, I guess. Let's see what we can do here. Brakes? They just let me down there completely. That's weird. It's like I broke at the same point that I did before, but like it just didn't slow down. This car's gonna be fun, I think, on the brakes. Yeah, didn't slow down at all. Again. Missing these apexes here. And the problem is we don't have really much in terms of option to adjust how the car handles in terms of the brakes. Because of the lack of brake bias, you just can't get the rotation on the rear end and the braking. I mean, I guess I could soften the front springs and perhaps get that way still rotation by just letting the car sag a bit more on the front. Putting perhaps more rebound damp on the rear. I don't know. $53, yikes. We don't have car choice here as our advantage compared to last time with these guys, so I actually have to drive good. Well, I mean, I might have setup advantage because I looked at the setup page for 2 minutes and saw that the default ships with rear wing attached. Which sounds like an obvious weakness. But hello there, how are you doing? Okay, now the tires are starting to actually overpressure a bit. I'm alive, the usual, I would say. I made a livery for the championship that I'm gonna race tomorrow in. And for anywhere where I'm future sign up with a GT4 car. Right. So I think I've just set the fastest time any of them has set so far. I'm nearly sub I'm nearly sub 50. Obviously not immediately sub 50 because, you know, we can't have nice things here. But the second fastest guy in the session right now is the guy right in front of me, and I'm gaining scarily fast on him. And I'll probably have to abandon my lap sort of deal. Ah, he abandoned his lap. Oh, I had too much oversteer there. Still somehow ran a bit fast out of the corner. He's getting off the track. Yeah, I'm trading like tenths of a second with myself. Yeah. Like, what is going on here that I'm so much faster than... Like, I expected them to not... Like, in the GT3 race, they were not pushovers at all. And they had 45 minutes of practice over me. I showed... Well, 40 minutes. I showed up in the last 5 minutes. Set up the car, drove a single flyer, and that's it. It wasn't even scored because I accidentally dive-bombed someone into turn 1. Yeah, we're actually 2 tenths down now. Rear tires are getting a bit warm. Getting the braking point right for turn 1 is very difficult, honestly. Yeah, it was a slow exit. I carried too much speed throughout it. Got the corner and then ended up wide on the exit. Had to stay off the throttle till I had finished turning, which obviously was suboptimal. Ah! That's what happens when you run low TC. You just get a twitch like that and your lap's done. I have 1 lap of fuel remaining. Precisely. Let's see if we can square this corner off better. Nope! That's the 1 lap. You mean the one that I already set on my first flyer that I can't beat now? Or the one that I just threw away? That I will never match again. Because it do be like that sometimes. Ah, that was too much curve. Let's return to the garage. Yeah, they just can't touch me at all. I don't know what is going on here. Okay, he's also running TC2 off, so he understands this also. But he's running more TC1, which is probably in some ways, yeah, the 49 lap. Well, we can go again. We have enough time right now. Oh wait, I should get a fresh set of tires. We have time anyway for only 1 shot, so we might as well take it in that sense. Slightly higher tire pressures because we're gonna have otherwise no pressure on the tires.
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
Let's see if we can do it. My dashboard is covering, my VR dashboard is covering up the rear view camera, so I only see part of it. Nah, I wouldn't say that directly. There's a decent chance it's not coming because, oh boy, I struggle oftentimes enough with delivering these laps. What do I have in terms of time behind? 13 seconds, okay. This thing has a lot of power. Yeah, duh, Lucas, but like, in the sense that when you're doing some weaving to get tire temp into it, it's very easy to lose them.
Slow car ahead.
Okay, there's someone in front. 6 seconds. It's not. Then he's P8. I should actually slow down. So, because the last guy is like, woo. A bit careful here. Let's see if we can square this off.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Fuck, too fast. Yeah, very slow exit there. We're gonna just about stay positive, but like, it's obviously cost time. That's where the large time gains are. Now I just need to hook up the rest of the lap. So much lost through the lesmos there. I have to really feather the throttle there to avoid getting too much wheel spin. Not much wheel spin here. Good run. Run to the line. And that ended the session apparently. We don't even have to do any service in this race, okay. Good. But we have a lot of pre-race time, 7 minutes. Yeah, time in the end, 49.5 from me. P2 was in the end hell off with a 52.122. Holy shit, I'm in the middle sector a full second faster than them. An entire second in the middle sector. First sector is about, what is that, 8/10 of a second? Yeah, you told me. I'm used to just having issues, and that's it. I've just noticed they actually have the co-pilot seat installed on these cars, because you can install on as far as I know, you can install on a lot of GT3s a seat into the second a second seat in there for like giving passenger rides and stuff. That works on a lot of cars, but apparently on the Challenge that's already installed for all those rich guys that like, either buy one or wanna just rent it. Because the car's expensive, so you need to make the money back through giving people rides and the amateur occasionally racing the thing. So yeah. Alright, so we need to get obviously get actually enough fuel to get to the end of the race. And I don't have fuel numbers. Well, that's fun. It lost all my fuel numbers. Should have run brake pads type 1 or type 2. I don't feel like it made much of a difference. I don't know, races they don't use the passenger seat, right? Like, yeah? I don't think they put the passenger in there during races. It's just for like during like specific track day event stuff type or Nordschleife or stuff. I don't know if this car is even allowed to race on Nordschleife considering how fast it is. And they nerf GT3 cars to stop them from being so fast on a straight line. Yeah, right. I need to get on my own stream to scroll back a bit to find my own fuel numbers. Yep, 3.23 it was eating. There. Well, it was after my reset. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I was thinking. $3.25 here. Okay. Well, that doesn't make too much of a difference. Let's just calculate with like. How many laps do we need? We have a 60-minute race, right? How much long do I have right now? 3 minutes 20. Yeah, 60-minute race. That allows me to we're lapping about 150. Divided by memory recall. It's 33. Let's just take 34 times 3 points. What did I say? 3 points. Yeah, 3.3 was the number here. Let's just go with 3.4, I guess. It's about 115.6 liters. Right, let's see if we can. But yeah, I don't think this is like rallying where they take a co-driver with them. Yeah, you can fit up to 126 liters into this fuel tank. As this bad boy can carry some fuel. I think I take 120 for a flat number. I did calculate 34 laps. That is then. If I go with 3.25, how many liters is that? 110. Yeah, let's just take 120. I feel like. I feel that is a good number. That makes sense. The tire set really indicates I have a lot of camber drop off on the rear right. A lot there. Because I have the tire set from the first run, and that's like there's a lot of inside wear on the rear right there. So too much camber there. So slice a bit of camber off. Also that tire probably could do with a bit less. And yeah, otherwise I think we're fine-ish. Yeah, 120 liters. We need to put a fresh set on. Right. Oh, it's a bit colder actually. Oh wait, I didn't set the tire pressure.
30 seconds.
Right, I did set the tire pressure still a bit higher, but also, I mean, that kind of could work. Nah, I go down
20
actually.
seconds.
Although, the session is... Come on,
10 seconds.
come on, garage. Drive. Okay, just about. I didn't check how long the pit window is, but like I said, we were not doing any service in the pit stop. I'm not gonna change tires or anything. I didn't check how much time acceleration we have.
Low tire pressure. Stay clear of the curbs.
I've just seen a video. They keep the seat on races. Apparently, you can't take the seat off the car. Yeah, that's what I assumed. You can't remove the seat. Oh, I forgot to move the overlay, so I can't actually see my mirror correctly. I could try doing it while driving here in the formation, right? It's gonna be jank as all hell, I can tell you that for so much. Because we need to switch both controls on. Into edit mode. Move the overlay, I think, to the side a bit. It's the easiest one. Close it. And then we have to hope that it doesn't jank up my stuff here. But we could check. Let's get some temperature into the brakes and tires. It's really glued to my back. Right, I did check. My stuff is all working fine. Right now my brakes are getting a bit warm. Actually, I need to be in this side of the track. This guy is really on my back. Yeah. I mean, if he lets me go, then he probably won't see me for the rest of the race anymore. The rear brakes are actually getting warm. My tires up to pressure, even overshot. That's interesting. Switch the ABS back. Which gear would be? Second gear, I think, for starting. Hello there, my friend. What are you doing? You wanna play silly games? That'll be interesting to figure out where we brake for turn 1. Oh, he's playing games here. He's cleanly ahead of me.
Green light, give it all you can.
Someone further down got the right through.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left.
He's on the side, but gone now. And there's Carnage now behind. Yeah, he didn't get a drive, but someone further down P3 seems to have gotten one. Whoever is has gotten up to P3 now. Half a second just for Ascari there. This is so funny. I didn't expect at all a domination on this level. I think this is probably harder dominating than the Imola GT4 win. We're nearly leading by 2 seconds at the end of the first lap. Although I'm pretty damn sure we're not gonna set any sub 50s in this race. Oh, he lost a lot of time there in the first chicane. Holy hell, he lost just like, yeah, nearly 2 seconds. About 1.8 or so. Must have like overshot, I guess. Was my gap calculation bad? Because he suddenly closed back up on me. Did he skip the chicane and like not give the time back up? What is going on? My gap calculation is bad right now.
Well done, Blade. Fastest lap of the race so far.
51.7, that's actually not even that fast. Clifford was doing that in practice. It could obviously be also practicing quality times. Might be up to 4 seconds now. Yeah, Clifford is 6 seconds behind. Pretty sure he cut the second chicane. I don't know what the names are actually of them. I think it's De La Rosa or something? But yeah, pretty sure he colored because the gap just shrunk by like over a second. And it's like, But he got away without getting like a drive through immediately for it, so I guess it wasn't too bad.
Fastest
51.0.
lap of the race. Great job, man.
52.3. 51.7 from Clippert. But that was too fast. So Clippert is by no means slow. He's about... like... I don't know what they did in qualifying, frankly. Because they was just so much less competitive. Now there's a real potential some of them are actually intending to change tires in this race. And not carrying as much fuel as I do. Which if they are, then... lol. Like, try making up 60 seconds at Spa of all places. Not Spa, sorry. We're not here at Spa, we're at Monza. What the hell was that with me, brain? But yeah, try making up that much time on this circuit. It's fun. But I don't know what they did in qualifying. Just ran the race set? Why don't you just take the fuel out of it? It's not that hard. And I mean, Clippert is actually faster right now than actually in qualifying. Well, I don't know if he actually set a time in Qualy. I didn't pay attention. But I think everybody did set a time. Some ones are all the same. Hi, Reske. How are you doing? I'm driving this car for the first time. I've never driven it before. I showed up with like 5 minutes remaining at the practice session. Went into qualifying. Beat everybody by like 2.5 seconds. So I don't quite know what the hell is happening. There's P3 right. P2 is dropping back very fast, but P3 is roughly going my pace. Is actually going faster than everybody else did in qualifying, so that's interesting. Now I am fueled for the entire race length. I do have to do my mandatory stop. And that's gonna be just me coming in during the pit window and taking a whole lot of nothing.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
But we do have to see how the tires are hold up throughout the race. Did see quite a bit of wear at the end of qualifying from my tires, so But I assume everybody else is gonna have a similar problem as me. This isn't Trackalicious where like the others don't drive with tire wear. This is the others are likely to experience similar issues if I do. I mean, we're driving after all the same car. I mean, I'm not sure they're actually like gimping themselves with the wing settings, because I did turn the wing and split all the way down. Because the default aggressive setup for some reason has those at 2 and 2 respectively. Like, what the hell are you doing to a Monza setup that has its front splitter maxed out? Like, hey. Otherwise you can't really do that much. You can change the dampers a bit. You have 2 different settings for spring rates. And 2 settings for each anti-roll bar, so much choice, very well. I did close the brake ducts a bit up. The tires are getting a bit warm on the rear end, but that's the only thing. And we're arriving into sunset, so we are more likely to have crack and air temp drop off and bring everything back into line. There's even a lapped car now between us and P2. Yeah, I guess we have 1 hour of relaxing drive here. Maybe after we're done we're doing some practice for Trackalicious. Although the likelihood of me racing on Saturday is not particularly high. Mostly I should be, instead of driving, caring for some mending some personal relationships, I guess. In respective for that race. But I don't know. If he doesn't want to drive, then while I think it is possible to mend the relationship, I don't think I could bring him back for this race. I don't think that is possible. Still something that I need to do, but I wasn't quite aware of how much I hurt him. It wasn't meant that way, I guess. I was just looking at hindsight. It would have made more sense for me to just stay in the car and not let him drive. He unfortunately, yeah, seems took it personal. Because I judged his failure as my own and not treated him how I treat myself. Kind of more sad. Whatever, let's just drive. Maybe I have to... I don't know. guess I have to ask Jordan if he's able to get his entry together with Yuki. Because if he is... if he isn't able to do that, then... could recruit Jordan again. Not that we would have any chance at that point for fighting for the championship. Well, if we're not fighting the championship anyway, we're fighting for P10 and standings. Not that we have any chance with him in the car. Heck, no one besides like myself we would have a chance at all. And frankly, the issue is that we can't have luck, so... because that's the person I put out for the Wolves. What I don't know. Can't think of a better euphemism. But yeah, I guess I have to deal for once in my freaking life with drama myself, actually. Although calling it drama is belittling it a bit, but it kind of is. It's interpersonal drama. At the end of the day, I caused. Let's be real. I caused because of my bad temper, and yeah, it's my fault. Does Germans really use Verabschiedung or they use it's like Wiedersehen? Verabschiedung. Actually, I think yeah, you wrote it right. I just read it wrong. you wrote the word correctly, but I read it completely wrong. Well, Verabschiedung is the term for that describes the action. I don't know if there's actually an equivalent for in English for it. But like you wouldn't like say it to someone to say goodbye. Like, it's not a translation for goodbye, it functions as like an umbrella term for saying goodbye, shaking hands, saying goodbye, and sending them on their way. It's just the entire thing is described as that. I'm not sure you actually use it as a term to say goodbye. You usually use, yeah, you usually use the other terms that you listed, Wiedersehen. Or specifically, there's a specific word for actually for it as well, and it's Tschüss, which functions as just bye. The simple bye. It's hard to spell. Also, there are regional dialects where you have, especially in the south, Austria and Bavaria, where Servus is also... Actually, isn't Servus a greeting? Yeah, Servus is, I think, a greeting. I know, Tschüss. Not running away as much anymore. I don't know. Not paying too much attention. EM driving at times is very bad. I think that's the thing with this car. You lose a lot of pace if you... basic word translations. Yeah, I don't think you... Well, kind of. Verabschiedung means goodbye. But it... You never... use it to say goodbye to someone, because it would be weird. It's more like to say goodbye. Because, well, after all, it's a subject, so... Verabschiedung. Or the action specifically, verabschieden. Which is actually to say goodbye. Basically translates to say goodbye. Verabschiedung is just... Because that's an entire thing where you, in German, where you turn verbs into... What's the subject? What is that, the language term for it? Could term it objectification, I guess. Yeah, that means to see you soon. Yes. Verabschiedung. Like, I don't know, try to construct a sentence to actually... to say it to someone. And you will realize that you can't quite. It's like... Like a typical, typical way you would use the verb form of Verabschiedung, which is verabschieden, would be to say, oh well, wouldn't you look at the time, like, you have to say goodbye now, bye bye, effectively, which would translate to German, or würde mal auf Zeit schauen, es ist ein bisschen spät, und uns verabschieden, tschüss. Effectively like that. Yeah. But like I was trying to talk about something about turning verbs into subjects. Or I think it is whatever you spell in German large, but don't spell in English large. Which can be also a name technically for something. Usually an object. Yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna just roll with, like, objectification. But, like, you can in German turn a lot of verbs into objects, effectively. By adding ung. And what is the other ending you can add to it? But, like, for example, übersetzen, which is translating. But, like... You can also have Übersetzung, which is a translation. And Verabschiedung functions similar to verabschieden then, which is, well, to say goodbye. as far as I know, English doesn't have a specific term for this. I mean, the opposite of actually Verabschiedung would be an Empfang. I just thought of like the word that it is in, which is also like a part of a wedding, specific. And I had the English word in my head and then forgot it as I said started this entire thing. Fuck. What was the English word for this thing? Reception, yeah, reception. Except the funny thing is that you have receptions also in hotels, obviously. But in German they are referred as Rezeption, so it's confusing. Yes. It does. I think there's also another ending. And it's also like, because you might know about German how like every verb is an irregular verb effectively. Like there's no, everything is chaos. So I don't know with how many words you can, but like also German allows you to, you know, just glue words together and it's fine. So in a similar way, you probably also at regular times fine with just gluing, turning a verb into an object if you need it for some sentence. Man, that's... If you go too... Although you have to always consider, don't go too hard on your object orientation. Don't object oriented too hard. You don't need objects for everything. Oh, I've actually just noticed a lot of them have pits at this point. And I mean, I'm driving a car. I don't have a German textbook right now open that I can make sure whatever I say is actually right. Also, how do you know that you just try? It's genuinely kind of like you either look it up and know it that way, or you just try because from feel. Because what flows with the word. It's like die Hund is wrong. And it just feels wrong, but der Hund is right. I think the problem for you is that like I obviously grew up with the language. It's my first language, so because you hear it constantly, if you would try to do it wrong, you instinctively know that this is wrong. You develop an instinct for which gender which term has to be. So it becomes then. Oh, broke too early there. Well, you just like sit there and like, why can't the dog be female? What are you all about? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's what I just immediately pointed out. Like, wait a second, I have this inherent advantage of just being grown up around it, so I will always have this. It will immediately be like, yeah, this has to be this one. You're like, but why? Why can't the dog be female? It's like, well, because it isn't. Why can't the dog be female? Why is the cat female? What is going on here? Why is the table male but the ceiling female? Like, the fuck is going on? It's like, it just is. I'm sorry. It's just kind of is. Well, there are obviously also terms that are gendered as neutral. Like, for example, das Haus. Like, that obviously has a neutral one. Yeah, das Auto, yes. Yeah. Volkswagen, das Auto. Der Salat, die Pizza.
We're halfway through, not over yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry to be like that. We genuinely do not know either anymore. It just kind of is, and it's like, yeah. I mean, isn't it actually the same case with, like... I know Spanish is also, like, gendered in a similar way where objects have, genders. Pretty sure then Portuguese is relatively similar. So you should in some way be familiar with the concept. And it being complete chaos. It's just that, probably for your understanding, things will just change gender between the two. I think also French is does the same. It's just English doesn't do it. English doesn't gender its objects. Not a case of like just English making sensible decisions. Sure. I mean, you seem to be learning in there. For the most part, yeah. For the most part, nothing weird is going on. And its key advantage just that it works universally and that sense. Who's from me? Ah, yeah, right. You can already tell by the ending of the word that which gender it is. Right. Yeah. I did take some Latin, but do not ask me at all about Latin. With like, you have some similar concepts there. And I mean, in Latin, you specifically have to match the gender of the person talking to your verb. Like each verb can be put into 3 different genders in cases and everything to just be right for the subject that is actually freaking doing something or having something done to him or what the hell ever case we are doing here. Fun stuff. And as far as I know, German doesn't quite do this. Like, the gender doesn't quite matter except if you need an article in front of it. Or well, actually, if you need like, what's the other term? If you need like this, that, or there, something of that type. Then the gender suddenly matters, and that's causing issues at that point. Because as far as I know, those are also gender specific for German. Monza. Well, we did survive turn 1, so... Because I started on pole, that helped. Long do I have left in the pit window? 10 minutes. Because I would like to do a flag to flag. If possible. No service? Okay, that's a dub. P2 has still not done his pit stop. Let's take a drink. Oh, there's my water bottle there. There's. You get your flashback to the first... yeah, where you cleaned off the grid in turn 1. I had here the Pan Am 6 hours, well, Monza obviously, the Pan Am 6 hour multi-class race, where I showed up with the KTM crossbow. Yes, I did that. I would argue the KTM isn't actually that terrible on the circuit, and I've won even here before, but like, it is worse than a Merc. And luck that day was so much not on my side. It was... I did finish the race. I probably shouldn't have finished the race. Because at the end, I was just done. Not from the fact that, like, oh, I drove 6 hours here alone. Yeah, that's already fun stuff, but, like... No, I didn't get the best... I missed out by pole by just a tiny bit. It got a bit hung up at the start, but then started closing the 5 seconds up. Was nearly in fighting range, then the GT3 leader came by and just cleaned me off. Coming out of Parabolica, he just drove through me. He had a bit of lag and just drilled through me straight up, and I just ended my race there right there.
The car is exiting the pits, watch out.
Yeah, coffee in German needs 2 E's. I think it needs already 2 E's in English as well, so... It's just we spell it with a K instead of a C. What the hell is that guy doing behind me? Something that passes off is that some words are easy because they're... something like English, like... well, yeah, because they are... oftentimes borrowed from other languages. I mean, coffee is, I think, from Italian. So they're both languages. And you also have the general case that everything has Roman influences. So, from all the Romantic languages have heavy influences from Rome. But even the Germanic languages of German and English both have heavy influences through the Roman Empire. So, just straight up have words from it. And I should probably take the opportunity and pit now.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Should stay in this case in the lead. What the hell are you guys doing here? My wallet has no mouth and must scream. What the hell are you doing?
You're on the left.
I mean, your car's toast. Well, that's... oh yeah, that's a selector between pit speed and code 60. But yeah, kite, heiß? Ah, kalt, not kite, kalt. Right. Come on, Jax.
Mandatory stop is not clear. Let's go, go.
Okay, so, kalt, heiß. Heiß is spelled also with an E instead of an A. But yeah, that's hot. But then out of nowhere there's like Kellner, Frau, Rennen. There's a funny thing about Rennen because you might know the Trackmania series of games. They did have the Trackmania 2 Canyon, and on the same platform they released Shootmania, which many people probably forgot that ever existed, but this was an arena shooter by them. And they had in the German translation, when you win a match, it would say won the race, or specifically das Rennen gewonnen. Yeah, that's a fun translation error. Like, sure, that works for your racing game, but like you didn't consider that your shooting game would. That translating match as race in German is, in that case, gets a bit confusing. If Canyon is one of your favorite environments. Yeah, I should dig out the because I didn't buy it. I bought both of them years ago, directly from them. So I have effectively a CD key and stuff for it. I should like look for that key where I have it written down. Like, I don't know, make sure that I centrally store some of this stuff. Like, generally, with data, like, I have noticed how much freaking chaos my stuff is. Like, there's so much important information you have these days. Like, I've at least stored my passwords into a password manager, and everything is finely organized in there. It's great. It takes care of a lot of stuff. I highly recommend. It's awesome. Bitwarden with a self-hosted Vault Warden, although I would perhaps not recommend self-hosting Vault Warden because, well, the saga that I went through. I mean, probably it's a bit easier if you just set up Docker with Qualy as your reverse proxy that gets your certificates, but your Let's Encrypt certificates. But like, if you set it up with K3S, oh my god. Don't! K3S on Alpine is a saga that like I have to dig out again because the support of my current version of Alpine is running out at the end of the month. It's like, yeah, this is starting to become a bit of an issue. I also need to migrate my version of Longhorn. Yeah, I've started talking about things that nobody understands. Vault wants to talk to you. Yeah. I recommend Bitwarden, but like Vault Warden. I don't have quite as many, I think. I don't know how many I have. I'm over 100, I know that. But I have a lot. Like you have. I had for the longest time a. Oh, turn on headlights. That's the windscreen wiper. For the longest time I had a password sheet, effectively. Just the text file containing all my passwords. In 2 years I collected... How did you do that in 2 years? Like for me this is like decades upon build up. Honestly, like... I'm not even sure I have everything. There might be some that I just never stored into the... Well, decades probably. It's probably closer to a decade. Howdy, how are you doing, Virus? Stop the time. I mean, stop time to stop the time. That's a funny quirk translation. sometimes have funny translations, sometimes they're just like put against the wall with them.
The pit window is closing now.
I didn't know it was so many. Yeah, bro, like that's... Yeah, I have also 3 Google accounts. I don't use them. So many email accounts. Actually, I don't have that many. I should probably have more. The thing is, with Outlook.com, you can just have one email address and just add some aliases to it. Which is what I do. Is like I have a... Like, I should probably migrate the alias that I use for like official stuff away from my current Outlook account, which might be a bit complicated. But yeah, you can just create more, and I have like a couple of alias on that one. I don't know how sensible that is, because I don't know if they can, if you give that email out, they could figure out the underlying account. I mean, obviously, with any of your aliases, you can actually get log into your email account. So someone, if your password gets compromised, they could just use any one of them, which is a bit of an issue. I used to have ePost. I mean, what does that do specifically again? Isn't that like, doesn't that service still exist effectively from Deutsche Post? Guess my mail provider. What was the name of it again? Of the Swiss one? I can think of it, but I can't think of the name. I already struggled enough with names in the best of days. Isn't something with P? Yeah, E-Postbrief, something by Deutsche Post. Yeah, I don't know how that worked. Isn't that like you effectively send an email and gets turned into a letter at some point, or is it just email, but just a bit more officiated? Because, you know, email terribly insecure and all of that stuff. I don't know why you're letting me now by. You held me up through those corners. There's no point in like waiting for the straight. Good clues. It's like, yeah, I know which one you mean. I just can't remember the name. It's like Proton. God damn it. Do not ask me how the hell my brain just like, while driving in the middle of Ascari, figured the fuck out that it was Proton. Yeah, I should probably get myself a Proton account, I think. That might be sensible. Migrate some stuff over there. I beat you to spelling it out. I don't know if you actually heard me say it before you spelled it. I'm not too sure where the delay right now is. Also, I think I broke at the 200 meter sign instead of the 150. Well, it matters too much. Pretty sure my opponents actually took tires because they're 30 seconds behind me. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be fine. But yeah. What else is... Still thinking about spending money. How much is it? It's like, what are the benefits of Proton Plus and how much is actually Proton itself? Or Proton Plus, for that matter. Oh, fuck. Hello there, Cal. Switch VPN solutions. Yeah, I guess I should perhaps pay for VPN, you know. When I'm downloading Linux ISOs, it might be a sensible decision, you know? I think my sentence about I'm gonna be fine with tires like might backfire here. That wasn't quite felt right. I mean, we have 30 seconds, I can bleed a bit of time here if I need to. But I guess Proton Plus offers you a VPN then, I suppose. From that, this is just from a basic logical conclusion. They've shilled a few of them. But I guess it would be Tunnelbear probably. They did shill that one for years. Or have they actually shilled any others? Have they done NordVPN or private internet access? I don't think they have done either of them. I think they've only done Tunnelbear. I mean, there's always more words in case you want to just go even further. More word than pay them in crypto. So it's just like those 2 steps further. It's not the McAfee owned one. So is is Tunnelbear owned by McAfee, or am I mistaken by... I don't... It's money by mail. I see, that's the even more secure way. Because after all, crypto is actually relatively trackable. Wow, I did not know. And isn't McAfee owned by what was it, HP? Or who owned McAfee? Or was it Acer? One of the computer companies, as far as I know, owns it. Was it McAfee or was it? I mean, the guy who founded the business is dead for a while now. He owed the IRS a bit too much money. Well, I'm currently using... Oh, I guess they have Shieldwood? Intel. Oh, yeah. Right, that makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, because that explains why it's on a bunch of pre-builds. McAfee. But yeah, that explains why there's a bunch of pre-builds. If you're using... If it's shipped with Intel, because then it can be demanded like part of the regime. installing stuff. And then forcibly uninstalled again. Because who the hell wants McAfee? Oh, that's interesting. Well, I think he did a Lewis Hamilton there. And crashed at the first Lesma. Such a high monthly price. I don't know what it costs, I haven't looked too much into it. I mean, I get technically them filled constantly to me, but like, apparently my brain filters the price out. Like, I can't remember which one I got shilled where, but I've heard them definitely. Isn't there like a third one? Well, we have Tunnel Bear obviously, but like Tunnel Bear was outside of LTC not really shilled by anyone. It was only like it was shilled pretty. Like there were 3 I thought that were like commonly shilled. Didn't have Nord also like a data breach not too long ago? Which caused an awkward situation for the influencers recommending it. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know what circles you're in that like people get approach responses at all. And you seem yeah, ExpressVPN. There's a breach twice. Yeah. A bit embarrassing stuff. We're gonna miss out on putting P3 actually a lap down. He's 12 seconds up the road. We'll just consider the fact that like we've lapped everyone besides the top 3. This is nearly as bad as VTuber GT. Probably worse, honestly. And the difference is that one had a turn 1 crash. Although here I think the others have taken tires and I didn't, so that's... yeah, Surfshark also exists. I mean, a VPN is a relatively simple thing to set up, so... There always... So it's relatively easy to spin up such a business, and then you just need a bit of venture capital funding to sponsor some influencers, and you're golden. Like some sort of investor. Private keys do not so private anymore, hey? I don't know to what you're referring with that. Guess for the VPN connection. I mean, the thing is with VPNs, like the only real thing you want to do perhaps is go around geoblocks or download Linux ISOs, so... yeah. I mean, in a lot of services like Google, you're still like logged in. So like any privacy is just immediately lost again. And everything communicates over HTTPS, so all your traffic is already anyway encrypted. It's just... You're probably better off, honestly. I don't know quite enough about the internet protocols, but I don't know if you don't have... because I'm self-hosting my own DNS server with Pi-hole and have... what is it called? Unbound. So I have Unbound and then Pi-hole accesses Unbound to have a DNS server. And Unbound goes directly to the main registrars and requests each stage of the DNS address. So accesses can be a bit slow at times because it has to jump like 500 milliseconds worth of delays because I'm not using Cloudflare to do my DNS. Yeah. Yeah, my favorite download distros. I mean, kind of. Yeah, the Pi-hole. But yeah, if you're not using the DNS from your ISP, I don't know how much your ISP can actually even find out about what you're accessing. Because they only know which web address you're effectively trying to access. Which IP address you're trying to access. I mean, you can... I tried to learn Proxmox, I suffered. Is Proxmox even that hard? Like, a genuine question, like, okay, if you can get it to actually, you know, connect to your network, which, if you don't have a LAN cable, that might become a bit of a problem, but, like, if you get through the part of, like, you have it set up, and it is connected on your network, and you can access it through your web browser, then everything is basically done, and the thing is, like, super easy to use at that point. 26 Arch distros. Yeah, you're downloading all the Atrix Linux flavors. With like... with all types of non-system D init systems and desktop environment combinations. I think there's like at least a dozen or so combinations of those in total. My attention span was ass today. Isn't that every day? Isn't that every day for all of us? Alright. Well, there's somebody who didn't even finish the race in P7. That's a bit of an L. Oh, he probably didn't get around again. Yeah, I finished just fine though. Kemmerling in P8, and then Michaels in P9 finished also the race. Handel, I think, didn't even drive a lap. So I used XTF4 as a file system, not ZFS. System, he makes my system die. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I said I have Proxmox just on a normal, on my SSD. I'm on my server a old SSD, which has the Proxmox install on it, and I think I have also XT4. But my NAS is a true NAS VM, and then I pass through the two hard drives from Proxmox into TrueNAS. That's a bit more complicated because you actually have to use the command line to set that up, but otherwise that is not too complicated. System D is scary. Oh, I can tell you, while seeking it's scary. Hey, I've recently made. I need to finish that program, but like I've more or less finished a program that allows me to load the smart data from the hard drives, because for some reason TrueNAS doesn't have access to that, despite that they are passed through, but like Proxmox still has. So I made specifically a program that allows me to access that data, and then I have an API that I can talk to request the data of it. And I had to obviously write a systemd installer that installs the systemd process that runs the program. So the program contains a function that installs itself. So when you're passing a specific command flag in, it will not just launch the service, but like do all of that fun stuff. Systemd plus Vim open heart surgery on your own heart. I have considered to actually switch my text editor from VS Codium over, but not right now. To Vim. I have used Vim a bit. I can get in and get out again. And edit. Other motions do not ask me too much. Yeah. Hydration is actually. Why did I throw my gloves when I need to do practice? Actually, because this would otherwise be a relatively short stream, and I feel like we could let this go a bit longer. Yeah. It'll not need to. We did go an hour 42. Like this wasn't that short. It's longer than I expected, actually. I didn't stream too much last week, so I don't know, I feel like going a bit longer. So let me grab my gloves. Love you exist. Oh god. Yeah, then you have the Emacs coming in. The Emacs user versus the NeoVim versus the Vim user. Versus the guy that just wants to. There's the Visual Studio, Visual Code, the VS Codium guy. And then some boomer with normal Visual Studio comes in, and like, what the hell is happening? Isn't that regularly? So yes, it is. Nah, I don't actually need to, because I can just, grab my bottle and drink at any point, really. As long as it's not empty. As long as there's long enough straightaways, it's perfectly fine. Alright, so let's get off the server. Some ping on Discord. The algae version was the Debian chat. I don't know where I am. I'm running an. I don't know. I haven't gone into the Arch arc on my laptop. I've installed Ubuntu some time ago onto it, and I should probably update that as well. Like upgrade, not just updates. App updater is, I think, not enough on that one anymore. But I haven't gone onto Arch there. I've actually installed Arch on my server once. As a stupid thing. Because, to host an Arma server. just because I thought it would be easy to set up a service to run the Arma server in a service, because I know how to set up a service with OpenRC. Right, so I set up not just Arch, but Atrix with OpenRC. So just, and that means I have gone actually through the process of installing an Arch system through not just a simple GUI, but like full-on command line Arch with all of the mess that is. Didn't get used in the end too much. Clogged up a lot of space also. Yeah, you can tell them. But yeah, I'm still in the Ubuntu phase, I guess. Although I mean, I'm running I'm running Kubernetes on Alpine. Like, I don't know where the fuck I'm placing on this. And I can take Alpine apart and put it back together and understand halfway how it works. Because the K3s instance is like spun up with Ansible and all of that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm on my laptop. However, I'm still on the Ubuntu Arc. Then you go to Arch, and then you go back to Debian, because that's the meme. Virus, there's I think specifically a Gentoo. A Femvoice Gentoo install speedrun with kernel compile skip. I think that's something that exists specifically that I remember. The thing is, modern Arch, as far as I know, is relatively easy to install because you can get very easily a distribution that gives you just a user interface, and it's as easy to install as any of the Ubuntu flavors. Alpine is relatively easy to install till you straight up try to automate it to dev. So you can just do it from a remote machine. I have gone in... I have made a tweet about Pac-Man in the past. I'm not sure I'm gonna find it in any sense because it's, I think at this point, months ago. But I'm not the biggest fan of the syntax of Pac-Man. An alternate Arch install script, yeah. Doing it like I did for Atrix is, I think, something you don't really need to do these days anymore. Specifically. So, but like what I said about Pac-Man is that I'm like not the biggest fan of its syntax. In my system, like, but why is it SYYU? I kind of know because large S stands for sync, and Pac-Man can do something else as well, for which another syntax exists, and Q is for like search, for querying the repository. I think Y specifically stands for even use Anarchy install. I'm not too familiar with Arch. It's like with options for Arch installers. They don't ask me too much about those, but like. But yeah, Arch, yeah, because I have looked at the. If you read the instruction manual page on the Arch wiki, you kind of get an idea of why some of these things are named that way. But like, oh boy, remembering this shit is still not gotten any better. I mean, I don't actively use Arch, so that's not helping. But like, I'm not the biggest fan of that syntax. It's compact, but like, it's just not transparent in the slightest, and that's a bit of my issue with it. Alright. Oh, dude, they're switching the VTuber 4-hour series over to SimGrid. I see. That's interesting. Unfortunately, we can't actually do the race on Saturday because I'm A, stuck in the family gathering, and B, we're doing Trackalicious, so we're kind of stuck with that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I might switch Arch, but like, it's just is a thing. I don't judge people for it too much. Right. We need to get our McLaren out. I know that's still the old one. I did at some point for last season install the not just deliveries but also the JSON files. So that's why I have the Android racing car, which is the not the only McLaren, but it's like the first one because it's named GGP, and next team is New Emotions McLaren. And then New Barras. And then you have the rookie monster car, which I've actually raced in. Yeah, when I misclick my 720... Yeah, at least the 720S shows up with Team Iris first, because it's the only team that's in there. But I have 3 liveries! Spot the freaking difference between some of them. Okay, when I switch directly with them, you might actually see it, but like, the difference between those two isn't much. And you see this one, and it's like, yeah, there's a bit of a difference. With all that nice texturing. I think it's not particularly visible, but whatever. Right, we really want to use this one because it's the Tracklicious version. Force syncing mirrors, even if the mirror reports it hasn't changed. Yeah, the Y, I'm trying, because it's multiple pieces in that pie. You just have to do not put a minus in front of everything. But like, S is for the syncing, as I said earlier. I think Y actually synchronizes with the repository. Like S is just the mode for what Pacman needs to do, and S is what you usually just do. Pacman does more, but like you don't really need much more than S for most things. The Y I think does the syncing, and I think U actually does the updating. And as you said, 2 Ys forces it to sync. Soy-face floof spotted? What do you mean? What do you mean? That something happened? Nah. What did I do? I guess if I say ah, oh, or something, I don't know. Did my model get stuck? Or did you not refer to me with floof? Because floof is also a term to refer to me, so... Pointy on that numby. I don't know anymore. Shoes. Oh, I misspelled it actually. Make the 3rd time I've done that. Because I've got one of the EIs. This is the practice server here. I think it has the password filled in. Nope, it doesn't have the password filled in. Well, is it this here? No, it isn't. Shall we then adventure into the Discord server? I mean, we were talking about some things earlier. I have switched over recently to using Thunderbird for my mail service. There's my mail client on my desktop. Unfortunately, what I did notice is that my university's Exchange server does thinks my Thunderbird is an out-of-date Firefox install. I don't know what that says about my university. Probably not a good thing. Because that sounds to me like they're running an out-of-date version of an Exchange server that doesn't consider triple-digit Firefox versions, maybe. Although it does work with my Chromium-based browser, so I don't know, because I think as far as I know, Chromium also has triple digits version numbers. I don't know, it just doesn't like it and I can't log in. That way I have to use POP, so I can't POP3, so I can get the emails, but like I can't send any. But at least I can get them, which is already like progress to before. Where I had to open the site. I'm using OAuth 2. Depends on the... I think depends on the mail provider I have. Because I'm using, obviously... I obviously have a Gmail account and a... another account in there. I can check for a moment. Give me a sec. Account settings. Where is it in here? Isn't he? Where was it listed in here? For the credentials here. Pretty sure one of them at least was. Let's see something along those lines. Ah, yeah, okay, here. Authentication method for the SMTP server for Gmail is definitely in OAuth 2. Gmail's on OAuth 2, but the Outlook is... Yeah, the Outlook one runs on a normal password. Well, that's not particularly great. It does use SSL. This is for sending mail out. I just wanted to respond to mail of 6 Lampard. Yeah, I tried a bit sending mails from my different ones. I did fail actually sending from my Hotmail from my... Well, I have my Outlook account so that I have an Hotmail address. Like, I struggled to send from my Hotmail address to my Gmail to then get the mail bounced email the next morning to tell me I was sending to gmail.de. I was like, okay, great, I just misspelled the fucking address. I have obviously a .com. Normal Passport does not want to cooperate with me anymore. Okay, well, for me it did work sending emails still intern to the alias, and I'm pretty sure it would also work to sending emails over to the Gmail. I was able to send from the Gmail over to the Hotmail and vice versa. Obviously, I can't send from the from my university account because it's connected with POP3, so it doesn't have an outgoing email server. It has only an inbound, which is a bit suboptimal. I have to use the Outlook client in Office. I commit scream. Yeah, I mean, I need to also, like, I probably want to self-host a calendar, which is probably the next task for me to do something. I think what is it called? Nextcloud has stuff like that. And here I'm using IMAP. I don't know too much about email. I was using before the built-in one from Windows. But A, they are migrating over, and B, I should probably stop doing that. I should probably stop using Windows built-in one. Although there is an advantage that you, especially with the calendar, that you can... you could just press on the time and date on the bottom right in your Windows, and you can just open the calendar that way and check the calendar, which unfortunately doesn't work when you have Outlook doing this stuff. I hate the Office Suite so much, it's so fat. Yeah, as I said, that's why I have switched over to it's why I switched over to Thunderbird. I have to, as I said, I have to migrate my calendar because I had my calendar written in Outlook's calendar and not in my Google calendar, which is fun because you can import it. You can publish your calendar effectively and then import that address into Thunderbird, so you can actually have the calendar events, but you can't make new ones on that account. And also, I would like my calendar events definitely synced between advisors. That's really important to me. So I definitely need to just make something new because I don't want to use my Google. And Outlook doesn't work for this purpose, so I need to get something new. And I think Nextcloud offers something, as I said, that is a built-in calendar. But I haven't used Nextcloud yet. I've just used SMB shares. Refuse to buy Office Suite. Yeah, I don't buy the Office Suite. I haven't. I think I have LibreOffice actually installed on this machine here because, or was it the OpenOffice? One of the two I have installed. I think. I have one of the two I have installed on this machine because I had to do. I wanted to do some editing of text. And because I wanted to do some tables. I don't know. It's good. But I don't use it much, so it's not like I need one of them. But like, yeah, as I said, I got Thunderbird news, so there's still migration stuff to be done. I mean, my intention is perhaps to migrate off Windows at some point entirely. I don't want to upgrade to 11, so that is kind of a bit of a plan. Get rid of OpenOffice. I'm not sure if I have it. I mean, the game is right now covering up. I guess I can hide it briefly, or it can cause interesting issues. Do I have it? Where would it be? Yeah, no, only Office. I see. So another one. I need to bring the game back up before it's does weird things. I don't know if that's any better or any worse. Pin to a pinboard. Oh, that meme. That quality meme. But yeah, right. We wanted to find the password so I can actually do practice here. That was my intention right now. I can still talk when I'm driving. But I need the password and stuff. Another one. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was that password. I just must have misspelled it then. Huh. Yeah, server is up since 4 AM. I guess it shouldn't work. Hopefully. Connects. And we also need to transfer the setup in. But luckily I have a tool for that. Although I'm running a bit out of space on my desktop because I have too many memes on there. No, don't drag and drop the fucking setup into the ACC. But at least it didn't crash the game in the process. Where did my file go? There it is. I'll just minimize the game and do it that way. I have to still set up auto start for Thunderbird, and then also I think perhaps change something to stop it from. So I don't know if I want it hidden in my address bar when I minimize it, or I would like it if it minimizes into the address bar if I close it, because idiot me does that regularly. Of things. Wait, which setup did I just move there? Hold on a second. Did I just move a Suzuka setup into there? Yes, I did. I just by accident copied the Suzuka setup. Okay, yeah, we don't want the Suzuka setup. Thank you very much. You removed that. Want the Mount Panorama setup? God, I need to pay a bit more attention to what I do. Move. Mount Panorama, add. Okay. Good. Yeah, that wasn't thought through completely. Right. Pull the game back up. Where's my chat actually gone? Oh, yeah, it was. Never stop files on the desktop. I should really follow that advice finally, but god damn it, I just constantly fail to do that. Lap times in 2-minute 01s, Jesus. I don't know. I mean that doesn't. I'm not sure if that's too bad, too fast. Because I think I have gotten a Porsche down on this track to 2-minute 03s or something in race pace. Something relatively fast. I've actually had relatively good pace in the Porsche once on this track. 21 air and track temp. It's not too hot. Brake ducts are very close. Gee. I don't know about that. That sounds a bit much closed. Excuse me, what are you? Are you some sort of bot, or are you someone who I actually know? You know? I don't owe anyone money. Could you just... Or is this like a new scheme? Ah, wait. I misread crash as cash. Sorry, I misread crash as cash for some reason. Ask me something else. Why I misread that one. I'm not that fast. The worst part is I have never driven the car before today. The Ferrari 488 Challenge. I've never driven it before. That's the first time I drove it. I just dropped the rear wing and front. It split it down to nothing and drove it like that, and it worked. And it was. I didn't take any tires in the stop. I I started with the right fuel and just drove. We need caffeine. I don't drink coffee actually. I mean, I drink a lot of water. But yeah, we need to do some, because the thing is, right, if you think I'm fast, I'm here on the Trackalicious server, preparing for the race on Saturday, so my team can finish last. Because yes, that is how competitive that championship is. Granted, I could perhaps get not last with my own pace, but like, I'm nowhere near winning in this championship, and like, honestly, if we're down to like 10 people only showing up for the start there, I might actually qualify last, if I would do qualifying. Like, this is here proper fast guy stuff. I don't quite understand why people were so slow with the 488 challenge. The 480, because the GT3 race, it wasn't last week, it was 2 weeks ago, I think, at this point, at Imola, the 90-minute. People were a lot faster then. But like, the 488, I guess, didn't suit people too much. It was relatively easy to drive. Well, my desktop is differently laid out. You have all your like shortcuts laid out on the left-hand side. I have them laid out at the top and the bottom for me. In nice groups. In the left-hand side of my desktop is basically taken over by files. And yeah. Trackalicious, like, yeah. I mean, sure, we would be perhaps fighting for higher positions if we were... Well, if my teammates were 2 seconds about slower than me. But like, even if I cloned myself and drove the race completely alone, I don't know if I could get into the top 10. It is that competitive. It's like, at Kyalami, I qualified 13th. About a second off pole position, which is relatively good. But there's a noticeable like drop off behind me. Of like, they were the top 13 of good teams, and then like, I don't know the rest. And unfortunately, obviously, my teammates aren't quite as fast as me, usually. Except it's Loic, but like, I don't think Loic is gonna race here. Some setups I have at work here. I mean, I have seen Asa's desktop, and it's like, holy shit, how do you even work? How does any of this work? I mean, my desktops are seemingly always a problem, because I did recently go through like an old hard drive I had laying around because I wanted to repurpose it, and found that there was an old Windows install on it, and just like there was a sizable desktop folder that had a bunch of files in it that I grabbed. Actually, it wasn't mine, it was my brother's. But I still archived a bunch of stuff. Jordan intensifies. It's not quite Jordan only. It's like Jordan, Jeff, and Asa are all like roughly similar in pace. Like anyone who isn't me or better is just fucked in this championship. Which is just like, bruh. Because the thing is, out of those top 13, it's like their second driver is about the same pace as their first. Like, I haven't seen something to this extent before. Where it's like, they are equal, basically. Not quite. We actually had a bit of a sample of that on in Misano. Because it was noticeable I was able to close better on the... was actually able to close up reasonably to the second driver in that car. While their first driver was definitely slower. Their first driver was a lot downright faster than me. Well, their second driver was a bit slower. It's just the gap that I have to fight, I guess, is a bit too much. Right, let's get back into the game, I guess. Hold the license to Total Commander. Is that a game or is that a piece of software? that's not always clear from the name. Right, we need a first set of one more tires here. But yeah, as mentioned, the time already set on the server is a 2-minute 01, which is stupid quick as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if I'm gonna get close to that. I know that I think I've gotten with the Porsche on this track 2 minutes 03 before, I think? Which I was happy about. Actually, that was also in a Trackalicious event, funnily enough. Trackalicious 12 hours earlier in the year. I drove that with, what's his name? I forgot his name. I just think his team is Phantom Sim Racing? I am sorry to that poor American that I forgot his name. He's a cool dude. But unfortunately I forgot his name. Yeah, he raced, us two raced a 12-hour here. It's the only us that actually were left. I mean, the car skipped the entire season, so, you know. It was just left that race, and us two tried our best in it. We would have, I think, even gotten to the top 10 if we hadn't gotten a disconnect. If I hadn't got disconnected, that fucked us over badly. But we still got a decent finish. But his changes on the Porsche setup from the Go, because the Go wasn't particularly great, and I feel like this might also not be particularly great from just a bit of traction loss earlier. But yeah, the Go, what was it? What's the software? But yeah, the changes he did for the 992, not 992, it was 991-2 that we raced here, because the 992 hadn't released yet. Like, that thing was just flying. Because funnily enough, I did RCI with Loic, and who was the other one? That actually made the setup. That was horrifically terrible. Like, that setup just wasn't up to pace, and then that one that he put together was just... Holy hell, that Porsche flew. It was so rapid. Unbelievably fast, but like... Like, it didn't make sense. It had 12 wing on the rear ends. And no splitter, and it just turned really well. It was fast in the straight line compared to the other setup that we had, where we were a standing duck on the straightaways in RCI. Granted, we also had similarly high rear wing, but we had a higher splitter. It was just... It was also a really stable car. We had rain during the race, and I stayed on slick tires and just demolished the competition due to that. because I didn't have to do extra pit stops. I could just continue driving, especially at the end of the race. I think I overtook the leader who was struggling with in the rain so at the end there. But I mean, I don't know. I nearly got a podium in the BBS GT4 championship when we raced here, and it was damp, and I was driving the Maserati. I had a bad qualifying because it was wetter in Qualy, but in the race it was damp, and I just drove by them. They had straight line speed because they were, I think, running slicks, but I had the wet tires, and I was passing people at the top of the mountain because I had just that much more grip to play with. Maserati is surprisingly good in damp conditions because the wet tires work really well in those. But if it gets too wet, you just are screwed. So yeah, we're coming in with 2 minutes 04 right now. So a casual like 3 seconds off the pace. 3.3. That's just the thing. Like I did. I can enter the Bond race and beat everyone by like 1 to 2 seconds, and then show up to track collision and it's just like, yeah, here are people who are going 3 seconds faster than you. I don't know what the hell the people from Black Hornet would do if they were had to face off against these guys. They just would annihilate them alive. There's just nothing they could do about it. Like, you are GT4 pace against them. That's sort of a deal. Like, sure they do a bit better with... What is this alarm for? I guess that's another email that come in. But I don't know what it's like... What am I well... I think there's more time to be found, although I haven't found it really on this track right now. This lap hasn't seen much improvement at all. Imagine if ACC had the Nordschleife, it's kinda nice. Like, honestly, not gonna lie, it would be kinda nice, but like, on the other hand, like, Windows shitting itself. It could also be my stream disconnected, you know? Thing is, I haven't completely disposed of the Windows email client, so that gives me also notifications at the same time. But my guess is I heard specifically the sound that's oh, yeah, some time. The only problem is I fucked that up. Yeah, as I said, freeze, I guess, for this track. Here, that's a bit more reasonable. Although, when I was practicing at Misano, I was about as fast as in Unis. And yeah, one of the Verbans are also here. Doing 01s. And as far as I know, they're actually doing race pace. But that's the thing, I did practice for the last race on Friday, and we have Tuesday today. And, well, you find the same people again on the server. So, like, they're probably every single day up here, practicing. And wasting their time away for some stupid race. That's probably how they're improving. That much. I can't do this. This mentally destroys me if I'm like driving for... Like right now it's fine because I'm still improving, but like... wait for me in like 2 hours when I'm starting to lose my freaking mind as I try to set up the car. That was the case at Misano where I just like lost my freaking mind with setups and threw the book and a half at it. For the book and then like, the entire library of the car, and it still just didn't budge and improve at all in pace. Right now there's a lot of pace I think to be found from just improving my lines. Making smart decisions in that sense. Pull the car. Oh fuck. That was too much. Good. To get out of the way there. Thought I could actually use the ramming board. Well, maybe we might have some tire data. Let's see if we need to move the camber a bit. Camber a bit much rear left. Otherwise it's fine. Only tire that seems to be have a bit much on the camber front. Tires look fine. Actually, we might be able to run a bit more camber on the front tires. Oh yeah, I still have the clutch pushed in. Rear right looks fine. Right. I mean, 2 seconds looks a bit more reasonable. Especially when we're starting to find like half a second or so. I mean, getting back to like about 1 second would be pretty neat, and I think that's where we're going to end up. About 1.5 seconds. I think that is possible. Just under 2 seconds should be off pace. If I can get under 3, I think that's gonna be a bit more of a challenge, but I think maybe possible for race pace. Peak race pace might be. Okay, that's not good, that's not good, that's not good. Okay, good. We did recover. We did say earlier about imagine if ACC had an Nordschleife. It's sad that we had to miss out on the 24-hour race this weekend. Would have been nice. On the other hand, if we could do V-Track and Pan Am, probably would have skipped Pan Am if we had done that, but it's just I didn't pay quite 100% attention to their texts in their Discord announcement, where it did say that the last week is again only for paid. So when it crept up on us that the event would be held on, the event in the end still crept up on us. And there's the usual problem of just you lose drivers as the event gets closer to actually happening. That's always the case. can't buy the title Stormland? Why? Because you don't have enough money? I mean, you recently sent me that you bought a VR headset, and I've seen you also post about owning one, having played like Pistol Whip. How have you been liking your Quest? Have you tried it with driving games so far? How has been motion sickness for it? Ooh. Oh fuck. I need to pay a bit more attention and not read messages while I'm driving through the dipper here. How much damage is it? Yeah, let's return to garage again. Purchase option isn't there on Meta. Yes, I see. That's unfortunate. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's delisted, that would be unfortunate. Also, I'm just noticing something also that isn't great. We seem to be short on fuel mileage. And why is it one of these notifications? Let's briefly check. Let's also avoid. Yeah, I think that's my email. Yeah, that is my email. It's Humble! Humble sending me emails, I see. But yeah, it's looking like we're about 6 minutes short on fuel right now. Oh, that's not good at all. That's additionally a problem. Ah, okay. So you just upgraded your headset from a Rift to a Quest. I see. Guess I misunderstood that part. But yeah. I mean, doesn't mean you don't have to face it. It's like some people deal with motion sickness on flat screens, which is always something that is like beyond my ability to comprehend quite, but I guess it exists, so I don't know, I'm not gonna judge further. Car's very twitchy there on the brake. I don't like it. It's actually surprisingly a working line. Huh. It might be even a fast line. I don't know. I hate the Rift so much. Is it the software? Is it just uncomfortable? Or is it the screen quality of the CB1 so bad? I mean, the index, as far as I know, isn't particularly much better on the screen quality. I know the Quest 3 now has a wider FOV even than the index. There's like people, hey, that's so cool, this headset is so good. I'm like, I have base stations, I don't have to use Meta. I'm happy, I have the headset already. I don't feel like compelled to upgrade at all. I mean, it's great for people who don't have it, but like, I have it. I'm happy. What I have. Quest 3 got your home invaded by AI. Doesn't the Quest 1 already do that? Or even the CV1, honestly? Like, all of them have cameras on it. That's probably somewhere in the EULA allow them to be sent data straight up to Facebook, so yeah. So it's in particular. For drilling, or more scared of drilling than managed to hit one of the... Oh man. I don't have my base stations drilled into the wall, they're just standing on top of shelves. They come with feet, you can just put them somewhere. I mean, the mounting system can be used as feet, literally. It's intended that way. You can either mount them or just use them as feet. Yeah, it's understandable. Like, it's still a very expensive headset. And undercutting that with a Quest is, like, really nice. I don't know how much the Quest 3 actually costs now. After all, Meta is, I think, not quite so invested in the metaverse anymore, so they might be not as willing to just lose money with the headsets as much as with the Quest 2 they were. Because they were selling Quest 2s at, like, I think a massive loss. It was not profitable at all for them. Yeah, and you also have the advantage of cordlessness with the Quest. It's really like big advantage that you probably have to experience to really appreciate. Someone who uses a corded headset and has actually dealt with the problem during some streams quite a bit. Like while driving, it's not much of a problem, but like my Half-Life Alyx streams, where I have to, like, halfway through the game have to just unwind myself because I've wound up my cable so much, is definitely a thing. Which shelves? And here for the 128GB models. It's still relatively solid. I think that prices the HP Reverb G2 out of the market effectively, doesn't it? Because that's a similar price, if I remember correctly. Or was at least. Sub 3 is possible, but man, you really need to hook the lap up, and 700 US for 512GB at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it's not a phone, it's a video game console, so 128GB might not last long if you actually, you know, install software on it and not just use it as a PCVR headset. You actually use it as a standalone headset. Then 128 is not particularly gonna last you long. I mean, the games might be lighter on that system, but like still high quality textures. I want to have this storage space, please. Car just briefly lost their traction going over the crest while braking. That's interesting. Now has pancake and not Fresnel lenses anymore. I don't know what that means right now. That's a downgrade, actually, or an upgrade. Okay, that wasn't particularly fast at all. Not slower. But it was a voltage rush. Ooh, hello there, car. Yeah, the car is at times quite unstable. Sometimes you find a bump that just unsettles it. Yeah, again, the car got airborne now. As you can see, like, I go down the gears on the brakes and the thing just doesn't decelerate, it skips one. That's a bit scary. Oh, there's even more people on the server now. Another Roman. Practice would be... Well, I'm not gonna practice so long to just send myself into insanity. I should perhaps try to do some setup changes to improve stability, because a car that randomly at times sends you into the wall, towards the wall, might be a bit of a safety critical issue for drivers like Asa. So, or whoever else teams up with her. Anyone besides Loic would have issues with it. Again, he's probably off the board. Issues. Ooh, mentioned earlier on the stream. Yeah, this is kind of the fucking problem with this car. It just sometimes destabilizes for no reasons there. And I can't quite put my finger on what is causing the car to launch. Probably a stiff suspension, I don't know. I mean, I'm at least the only McLaren on the server. And I'm actually still lapping very close to my own lap time. But the brakes really aren't good here. I had to brake earlier than what I did think I need to. 5 seconds worth of damage. We need to get some more than 2 laps in. Let's just continue. We need some actual freaking data here. And there's quite a lot of time to be gained there. Need to brake before the corner. Yes, the compression just the bump just sends you flying and you lose all the everything. that bottom out there? I feel like it might be doing that. Yeah, it sounds like the car's hitting the ground. Watch me not get a 2-minute over it. Well, actually, I do. I was gonna do the bit that we're not getting a 2-minute or 2, but like, well, I exit the corner a few more times, so it happens. Seems like the tires are standing up quite well. Though what am I saying? It's like how far have we been into the stand? 15 minutes. We would expect the tires not just die after that time, hopefully. At this rate, you never fucking know. The car is struggling to just keep the rear end down at times. Ah, oh, fuck, done too early again. Still got down quite a long time away. Actually, not that far. Considering the wets, Kagurami and Misano about 1 second, and this track is longer. I'm doing about the same. Just the problem is that I'm not consistent at all. I just don't feel like I can quite trust the car. It's be there for me, and then the brakes don't work again. I don't know. It's weird. There's also the fun topic that we're not gonna make it on fuel. On the other hand, this is bad for us. The likelihood of our drivers actually getting to the end of the stint without crashing the car is a bit low, unfortunately. So the likelihood of us getting bumped onto an off strategy is unfortunately pretty likely. I mean, heck, I'm struggling to just get this car around the circuit without dying. And it's me. I have hundreds of laps on this circuit. Asa, I don't know if she's driven a single one so far. Oh, come on. Oh, fuck off. Why does it act so weird? I mean, maybe I can wrap my brain around it. I think there's a precise line you need to run through there, a precise set of inputs. And then you're fine. If you don't, you got fucked. You would just get completely fucked up by it. This is kind of the issue. Because this is an endurance setup. It needs to run for X amount of hours. It needs to work on a track that isn't... Well, we aren't actually, I think, fully roboted in, are we? Well, we have gone optimum, huh? That's probably in part why we've been improving relatively consistently. Because we went from fast to optimum. Whatever, but like... but like the issue is... Especially when you have someone who's not god tier good, they will not drive the same line every single freaking lap. It's just a struggle at that point. I mean, not just running up close to the wall, but actually spraying paint with it. The first gear just doesn't work on the hairpin, you get too loose. Again, a bit loose. Ooh, hello every end. Would you kindly stick? Well, that's a bit of lap time lost again. It's another wall brushed. God, I'm collecting damage here like hotcakes. But I do notice the car is not losing really much time. I'm saying that as Delta goes up, but like not much. Probably more down to me having a slightly slower exit. Hello rear end, would you kindly make the corner in the front and please stop the car? So much more speed here. That's interesting. Bit of a bobble on the exit there. Fuck.
Got some severe damage on the front. Box this lap, we have to repair the car.
Yep, that's kind of the issue. I ate a bit much curb there and that just fucking launched me. Holy hell. And we're supposed to bring it to a 6-hour race. And this is how they intend you to endurance race with Go setup. So that's... I guess I'm slightly displeased about this customer service because holy hell, that's like it's fine here, and then yeah, I wasn't even heading the curb yet. The car was gone before I even. I guess I tapped the brakes. I don't know what quite. I think. Yeah, I opened the steering slightly, then turned in again. And this was enough to unsettle the car. Me just doing a slight correction on entry and then turning back in. That back in maneuver gave it a bit too much, janked the steering in the front a bit too much, and that was enough for the... because the rear end, the front end just bit in that moment and just sent the car slightly sideways, and that was enough to send the car. And then obviously I hit the wall because while I tried my best to stabilize the car, I was still in the throttle because I expected it to be a slight step out and not quite as much as it was in the end, and then it just decided to nose into the wall there. Fun stuff, right? Really fun stuff. I'll see what I'm doing in over a lap in general. Like, this is surreal for me, honestly. It's like, yeah, check the replay and see where you can gain time. Me! You cannot open this corner up any further. I think this was the lap where I had a bit of a bobble out of this corner. so I wasn't too fast out of it, but like, there is nothing. And I think this is one of the things that give me an edge against a lot of people that are like a bit slower than me, but like average category driver, the drivers that show up at the V-track and stuff like that. Here again, I'm right at the edge where the grass begins. Well, it's the lap where I brushed the wall there. Because I felt the wall in my steering inputs. So that there was some contact. Yeah, for those corners, I open up so much. And I just do that instinctively. I mean, I can get more space there, I guess. Yeah, that's definitely the case. But there's some corners where I place the car on the outside and I instinctively open up the corner as much as it's humanly possible. There I have a bit more room on the inside. This is, I think, the lap where I nailed this the first time, really. You eat the outside curb there. That's second. Yeah, that was oversteer. It's the lap where I lost a bunch of time due to oversteer there. It doesn't look as oversteery there as it felt from the cockpit. But there's always the visual disconnect to the actual riff, and there's my brush on the exit of the wall. The exit. When was actually my best lap? I don't know when it was. Look at this one. Like, where am I losing a second? Like that is my. Where are the aliens gaining so much time on me over a single lap? Because I open my corners up as much as there's humanly possible. And I think the real question is obviously the answer is mid-corner, because we have already exhausted everything on the entry. In the exit, like there's nothing left there. Okay, that was the lap where I brushed the wall there a bit. To lift. Yeah, there's another wiggle. That's just not great, this run through here. You can see the car just go all over the place, but not where it's quite supposed to be. And here was a faster run through there. And not in the sense of like getting the corner faster, but like it is too fast that I fly off. Sort of a deal, but like there's this odd thing going down here. It's like your car gets hooked up here on the bottom. So like this could actually, despite not opening up the corner, work to be faster. Which is really weird and just contrary to whatever you would think happened. Should probably just go out of the replay and figure out which lap I set my fastest on. That makes life a bit easier. Like sure, I think get a bit more further on the inside there. But the question there is like getting the car to bite enough to actually hit the apex. Yeah, I guess I have a bit more room to play with for the hairpin here. Relatively consistently. There it got. Here's the issue, right? I ran through this corner. You can see the car just. You can hear the car slides there a bit. Like yeah, it just got a bit of skid there. Perhaps you can see it on the onboard because I probably kind of did in the moment. Just like yeah, there's a bit of slip in here, and it just costs you time immediately. That just sucks when you have to deal with it. Guess I can open this up more. The problem is like actually seeing where your own markers are, and like mentally mapping everything to like get your turning points and everything correct. There's just so many points you have to keep in mind when you need to turn in. It's like the braking point, yeah, is a major point, but like and you need it as a marker actually, but like you also need to feel like your turning point, so you actually hit your apexes, your acceleration, when, how much, how is like there's multiple like turning points effectively in the same corner. There's multiple acceleration points. If you get very pedantic, it's complicated to say the least. The brakes just screamed a bit there. Yeah, I'm hearing the brakes talk to me, and that's not a good sign. It might be getting a bit warm there. When the tires weren't actually warm, so I don't know anymore. Anyways. I should really finish my Simha plugin, which would allow me to record their lap times. And not just their lap times, but their delta specifically. So when I'm on the server with them, I can just nap their ghost effectively and race against them. And figure out where specifically they're gaining on me and when losing. In part that works. The problem is it's like I can import a delta already. That actually works. I implemented that code, but like it doesn't, well, right now work. I can't record someone else's if there's in the session with me. I can obviously import someone who uses the plugin like me, and I can give them mine, but like no one uses them. Like not quite. I mean, there's a sizable amount of people who are actually depending on my plugins and are very grateful for EasyScript and SimHub. I'm not the only person who uses this, and sometimes I have to remind myself about that. Luckily, I do design them from the ground up to be very usable for people. I do consider not just me for a lot of usage, which makes them actually pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, advanced scoring might actually finally release someday. The plugin is at this point 5 years old, and I started work on it. Well, I think not quite 5 years, I think it's 4 years. I think I made it in 2018. Plugin. It was, in part, I think, made in... Well, I think actually in 2017, because I switched to SimHub already in 2017. Because rFactor 2 deprecated DX9 and DX11 didn't have the Visual Plugin API. So you had to... So you couldn't like have TrackMap plugin anymore. Which not just provided a TrackMap, but also like a bunch of other telemetry stuff like leaderboard and the center LCD that had like shift lights and everything. And that was relatively important when I was running still on single screen. I still have the overlay stuff, but like I wanted to publish it for like also like 3 years, so because I had underneath an old video someone had asked for it and like wasn't able to publish it for him. Yeah, I ate curb down the inside and that just sent me. Yeah, the margins, they are very thin and I don't like it. Well, let's just pause here. I mean, this is quite nice, you know. The view here. Let's just wind a bit forward. And this looks... It's a nice view from up here. Even though you can see how low LT at times trees clipping into the ground are. Still. You need to sometimes pause and just take a breath. The sun is not as glaring as it is in R Factor for us in VR, so I can just look at the sun and it's just a white fear for me. Which makes racing at dusk a bit easier, but like, still, I would like it to be a bit better than that. Right, we should probably get back out and do more laps. I don't know. Maybe look at some suspension data and see. Okay. But yeah, I mean the goal will be also to straight up record their telemetry as far as it's possible. So you don't just have a delta of a lap, but like you can also just have their full on telemetry. Have also like their speed data recorded, and like you can analyze your lap against theirs in Motec, which could be useful. Alright, 10:42 PM. What is this? Is there anything else that's been pinged so far to me? Ah, I guess that's what Fuckerman is. It's like an FTP client stuff. Oh, there's a new setup help section, which... Or, no, it's not new. It for some reason decided to be pinged this new post in here. Everything new here since... I don't know, maybe someone changed permission for it and that caused it to flick up. We're adding more and more drivers to the Iris. Oh, the Renspot drama is heating up because Renspot made a this continues to be interesting, the Renspot saga, because they just they try, but the damage is done. Like, well, they basically deny it. Like, hey everyone, I want to address some of the rumors and accusations that have been circulating in our community recently. We are proud to say that all our content libraries used for the production of Rensport are created by us, commissioned or licensed appropriately. So they're just denying that they're using R Factor 2 stuff. So yeah, that's awkward. They're just straight up denying it. Now, what could be the case is that they're using... I don't know, it's like the evidence so far shown has not been particularly much. We just have been told, like, oh, someone has found something. As far as I know, we haven't seen specific, like, numbers compared. And as far as I understand, it's just like, oh, someone found a TGM file, I guess. So that's not much. Or something. Or just like the file format is similar. And it's like, yeah, Alphactor 2 stores stuff in text files that are formatted in INI format. So it's like, it's not hard to copy in that sense. But if we have specific numbers, because people have claimed, oh yeah, they have tire data as well. And it's like, did they have the value section of the TGM? Or do we talk about the points data from the TGM? Or are we talking about the compiled stuff? Because there's 3 distinct sections in a tile file, which is called TGM. Because I know a bit about Alphactor 2. After all, I for some time maintained a tool for it, so I should know a bit, but I don't know. Still, the cam on the rear left is doing quite stuff. Front right is fine. Rear right, I would say, is fine. Front left is also a bit excessive. But rear left definitely is significantly too much. Right, that should be a bit more in line. How long have we been going? This point? 3 hours. Right. I think I will go out for one more run. What does the suspension do? The rear end doesn't use much bump stop range, so that's why we are having such odd behavior, I would say. What? Okay, I have to show this. Because this is... I don't know how this happened here. Okay? So we're gonna show parts of the setup here briefly, because this is like just nuts. I didn't expect that. Well, let's just desktop view. It's fine. Don't think I have too much bad stuff on there. You see, yeah, this is a mess, but like whatever. Did I actually switch to a correct scene? Oh no, I didn't. I'm stupid slow. Oh, this one. I think it's yep. So yeah, look at these the rear springs here, right? And the red line is the bump stop. The spring is this line here, the yellow one, and the bottom is just the spring completely deloaded. But like, we lower the spring rate to the minimum, and then we can just like move the bump stop below the spring. What is happening here? Like, the bump stop is below the spring. Like, what? I guess we're really driving on the bump stop here. Like, all we're getting is the bump stop rate. The spring is completely detached at that point anymore. Because we're already in the bump stop at that point. So if I increase this, we will raise the rear end up, I guess. That is nuts. I mean, the car is already also in minimum ride height on the rear. Yeah, I'm showing my setup, but like, who cares at this point? As I said, it's a Go setup. You can see the name up there. And if someone wants to clone it at that point, they're free to use them. Just get it from them. But I guess that explains the slightly weird behavior on the car. Because the rear springs are just not there. At all. Let me just switch back to, where is it? ACC. Right. But yeah, holy hell, who thought that? Like, that just sounds like a bad time to me. Yeah. I'm sure you can do that on more tracks, but like that's already like something sus, to say the least. Did we? Yeah, we have definitely now a fresh set of tires. I want to have a fresh set of tires to run the last empty. Oh wait, we have already the ignition on. So let's see what. Oh, I'm stupid. I disabled the pit limiter, but luckily we're not on an actual official server. It's just that you can teleport it, I guess. Well, that's a bit of fuckery, I guess. Man, this lap was long, 26 minutes. Well, I spent a lot of time in the pits looking at replay, and then we spent some time in the setup going over what the hell these settings are. Great, immediately brushed the wall there. But no real damage done. The thing is, the car actually runs with tow. Like, we're not running a negative tow setup here to get the car to rotate. Yeah, but still, that setting is very bizarre to me, and I have no particular clue why someone would implement it quite like this. Okay, I'm in the middle of the road there instead of where I'm supposed to be. Oh yeah, the session is also nearly over. Right. Server set up with a 3-hour session here. Set up from the start of the race, I think. So we're probably starting like towards sunrise, if not actually at sunrise. Similar to a real 12 hours, but it will get bright then. And the track heats up because it is a lot warmer than actually when I joined. Gotten quite a bit warmer since then. Oh fuck. I think there is not as much grip as I thought out there. Oh, we're not gonna run for long. I don't think we're gonna wait for the session to reset. We're just gonna drive 12 minutes and see how this setup does.
Yellow flag out, BHR. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh fuck. One thing we found out, it is understeery. Because it didn't make the corner there. I mean, springing the car a bit high on the rear end should technically mean it's... Well, actually, it's not higher springing. Suspension can be compressed more on the rear ends, which means it can ride lower. We're actually forcing with our setting currently the car. How the bump stop works in this case is it forces the car higher. It's just that it at the same time has no brake to avoid losses, I think, on the straight line or something. Minimize the rake on the car. I mean, you know, usually I would be relatively happy with just being able to have 2-minute or freeze, something like that. But man, it's just, yeah. That was a bit deep. Actually faster? Wait a second. That was actually faster because I threw it in deeper and missed the apex. Yeah, if you run wide there, you just lose traction on the outside. There's not as much grip. So you don't want to even use the track width there. Except if the aliens do, we need to check that. But they will probably leave as soon as the server resets. I don't think they will drive any further. But I guess we could just nab the replay because we have it already. I mean, we were here, so... They can't escape the replay. Oh, hello there, car. Yeah, if we run it like this, we need to, I think, either decrease the rear wing. Okay, it's generally faster. I think the track has just gotten a bit faster there. Maybe I need to try also running a lower TC settings to see where we're losing traction there. Okay, that was a wall brush. Ah, that's... I didn't line it up correctly. Not that taking flat over the top really gains you that much compared to slightly lifting. Like, it's faster. But it's only about 2/10. Like, 2/10 makes a difference, but like... I have to stop doing it, and it's like, it's not the end of the world right now. That was too late. I need to get better at the chase. The thing just doesn't quite slow down as it would like to. That's a complete apex miss. Still carry decent momentum around the outside, although we're losing it now on the straight. We keep wall brushing there. So I think too much understeer now. It's the subtle difference between the setups. But the cars is just so much more stable. It doesn't jump immediately as soon as you hit anything up there. Although we still lose traction down here. If you jump so. Yes. You take some, you lose some, I guess. But there's pace in this though, interestingly enough. A lot of it down here actually. I feel like it might be in part due to rubber buildup, I don't know. Although they are not improving either, so either they're doing Qualy laps and not anymore. Oh, fast I'm all actually losing now. Exit speeds are getting worse here. Are they doing long runs? I don't know. It's something that isn't doing their peak pace. Someone did a 2-minute 2:20. One of them. Avoided the wall here. High open steering bit, briefly, to lift out. I definitely have to lift right now on the top. Thing is, we might be able to just trim it in with a bit of wing. I think I'm genuinely not terrible on this track somehow. If I'm not fucking braking for once, and don't just, you know, brake every single time I brake too late on this corner. God damn it.
Yellow flag accepted.
2 minute 3. It's not a bad exit. Must have been packing up now and ending the runs. Oh, I missed it there. Man, that was quick.
Green light, go, go, go.
The game was very much like, oh, you invalid your lap, well, goodbye. So we've lost basically everybody else. We did, however, notice how much understeer is induced. Setting change down here. But it's like, holy hell, that is improvement. Instability by just not riding it on the fucking bump stop damper. Because that just was too much of a gamble. Fortunately, we lost obviously the data on TAS at 5 because it reset with me out still. But yeah. This is the 720 Evo Bathurst. Whip 01. Because it needs its prepping stuff a bit. I see you're back now. Guess you left at some point. I was looking earlier a bit on replays and stuff. On my own replay. You missed me probably checking the setup and realizing on the graph for the rear suspension, the spring was above the bump stop. I didn't even notice this could actually happen on our graph, but yeah, that's something that happened. This setup apparently trimmed the car into... Alright, I want to check a bit on... Oh, now I understand this comment of like, take out Caesars. Yeah, he is rapid. I hadn't noticed it. How do they have SAP on there? Do they run a standard livery or something? Here's one of those guys. Let's watch one of his laps. Don't know if it's any good or anything. Check it out. He's not quite on the apex there. I guess that's not quite a perfect lap. But yeah, I had looked at that, and the car was a bit bouncy earlier, and like I changed that, and the car stopped being having these issues where it would just eject you randomly at the top. Where it was like single line and single line only at the top of the mountain. Problem is, it's now understeering. Yeah, so. But I don't feel like doing more practice tonight, so it's like, it has to be shelved, and we have to figure out to fix this next time. I don't know if this lap is that fast at all. But I always wanted to mainly check if like what line these guys run up here, because I noticed that I'm also leaving quite a bit of room there on the outside, and I was like, I could optimize it a bit more and move further out there, and it just the car starts shooting straight. There's no grip out there for some reason. He's off the apex there again. I guess it's just a slower lap from him. I'm on the curb there. the gear mid corner there, which is good timing. He actually lifts. Okay, that's. Oh, he's off the track there as well, still. And then it starts teleporting on top of the mountain. Great, awesome. Connection fucking too bad for this. To get accurate data, because the car just floats about. Because the car is obviously on the other side of the track, so it's like the game is like, nah, we don't need that much data on it. The precision of it is like probably not good enough. That was at the end of the session. Yeah, he got down to an 0.1645. Actually, we could figure out what his last lap time is. Oh, can we? No, it's not listed. That's unfortunate. I'll check the replay for that. Hepburn did come out in front of him there. Hepburn gonna move over. Yep, Hepburn moves over. It's giving him a bit of slipstream. Like, yeah, but the thing is, I always say about like, watch a hot lap or something. I'm like, I'm watching him drive, and it's like, I'm not sure this is his fastest lap, right? But like, I don't see anything really he's doing much different than me. Okay, he's not even on the curb there. I am running wider there. Okay, he has to lift there because he was too fast. Yeah, his laps are definitely not as good as he could do. Like, he genuinely isn't performing that well. I mean, he is really nicely on there. In the inside there. But not quite mounting the curb, because I think the mounting the curb is not a good idea. But yeah, he doesn't use any more track width there than I do. I guess maybe real difference is his setup and car choice. Because genuinely he's not doing anything that I am not doing. Or maybe it's just I'm looking at the wrong places. Probably the replay's inability to show properly the run through here. Although this is relatively decent quality right now. This looks like a very slow run, honestly. Like, there's just a lot. He slows down so much here and just doesn't get it hooked up in the apex there, and then runs wide onto that one. So it's probably not that good what he's driving here. And it's on the inside here, but like I've noticed that that can work. But that looked scuffed as an exit. Let's try it from one board. Yeah, the problem is this steering inputs are obviously floaty due to the connection. And just the game server update rate for the car on the other side of the road. Track. Well, where am I right now? Yeah, I mean he's a decent chunk behind me. He was the car behind me, and he was like a second per lap still faster at this point. Despite his errors that I can very clearly see in his laps. Still, besides. all of that. It's just I cannot tell where he's getting magically more pace than me. Let's just watch this section here. Although here's me having a war once already. I was able to stay flat there, but I think I have to lift here at the top. But even if I, you know, have my other setup just with... just trim out the understeer there on the top enough. Although actually I think my run through there is slower than his. Yeah, that is slower. Yeah, I don't accelerate as much through the dip there as him. What were my steering inputs beforehand? Because the question for me is, did I expect strike there? Yeah, I think I'm losing a bit of time there. Okay, this was a lap where I was a bit wide. Actually, we can check his line through here. Compared to me. Well, we should probably wait for me to finish my lap and jump back to him. Bit of brake squeaking. I'll probably not hear that from him. Straight is so long we can skip twice. He can brake a bit later, I think, than me. And still be very under control through the corner. That's the thing, I struggle to stop for this corner. If I brake a bit early and can finally get this into my fixed skull, then... And the thing is, the Ferrari just has better brakes than us. And I think this is probably where he makes up a lot of time, just because his car's better than mine. And that probably at the top of the mountain through the dipper there I'm losing time. Otherwise I don't really see where he's better than me. I'm gonna be real chief. And he's like on his fastest time a full second faster. Again, I couldn't get a setup running that wasn't understeering at the top of the mountain. I can probably even get to like low O2s in these conditions. Which is quite surreal, honestly. I should be honestly quite happy. Like, this isn't too bad. We are getting down to the 1 second mark, actually, despite this track being longer and everything. We're getting down there. And I've sorted the handling issue, basically. Right. The issue is, what do I do now with this? Because I don't want to send Asa the setup, right? Should I send it, however, yet? But in general, should I perhaps... I mean, I can send her setup, advice for the setup, but like, should I perhaps send it in the Tracklicious chat that we have on the Iris Discord in general? But like, there's the conflict with Loic that is unresolved since 10 hours now. Christ. If I had resolved that before dinner, this would be a bit easier. But no, I didn't. I've had about an hour from when I saw it till I would go to dinner. And since dinner, I've been driving. So that's fair. But yeah. Because if I just say something about what we need to do with the setup, that just feels wrong. Feels invalidating his feelings. Alpha's like... I mean, there is a certain degree of utilitarianism with me trying to appease him, but like... a certain degree only. It's also just I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have some drama to add to my repertoire of things I have to deal with. If I can resolve something that I didn't think was a problem beforehand, it would be nice. Right. Okay then. Good night. Bye bye. See you tomorrow for the GT4 race, actually. Because because we have the actually when is it? That will be because I haven't put it in my calendar yet with all the migrating stuff. That is the Terra Motorsport Multiclass Championship Season 2. Round 1 at Imola. And I need to start prepping that thumbnail because this is gonna be glorious. Right. That will be tomorrow at 20:45 CST. I need to definitely start releasing schedules for these things. Right. Okay then. That's for real. Good night. Bye bye.